Welcome into Jags A.M. I'm Kainani Stevens. Brian Sexton and John Ogier are with me today. Jaguars are getting ready to head to Las Vegas later this week, but first off, we're going to talk a little bit more about that Jets performance against the Jets, and then also what they're doing this week to prepare for the Raiders. So we'll start out with big thing number one, which is rookie phenom. As we know, Brian Thomas Jr. had a breakout game against the Jets, 2 touchdowns, 105 receiving yards, and 10 receptions, one of his best performances so far. And Brian, we've talked a lot about, I made that not so hot take of that I think he's the best rookie wide receiver of this class, but quickly, is he approaching maybe top 10 in the league as one of the better receivers as a whole?
Well, he looks like he's going to be. I mean, it doesn't matter what you ask him to do. Catch it short and run on a slant, or go deep and catch the ball like he did against Jalen Ramsey on opening day. He's tall, he's long, he's fast, he's got game strength. I mean, this is a guy who's got everything you could possibly want. And, you talk about hot takes. I didn't want the Jaguars to draft him. I thought this was too good of a draft for offensive tackles, that you needed to get big guys, and yet they took him, and he turned into one of the best Jaguars draft picks that I can recall, and one of the best receivers in Jaguars history. I mean, Jimmy Smith, Brian Thomas Jr. And it doesn't say a lot about the Jaguars' history of wide receivers. There have been some really good ones, but this guy looked like he's going to be mentioned among the very best.
Well, I think what's really impressive is I've never seen a rookie wide receiver who is as good as a rookie as he is in his third or fourth year, because there's so much to learn. There's so much in terms of route running, in terms of just NFL knowledge and experience that you gain. I'd say he's approaching top 10. I don't know if I can put him there yet, but I was with Brian. I thought they should have gone big. I want this team to get bigger, stronger, more dominant up front, but you also need superstars. And on a team that hasn't had enough, especially at that position, which is a premier position in the NFL now, it looks like they finally have a superstar.
Kai, I told the story back after the Colts game, after his 5th week in professional football, that standing next to Jimmy Smith and listening to the greatest of the Jaguars receivers talk about this kid admirably, talking about his great traits and what he saw in him in just a few games, told me everything I needed to know about Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, I don't want to think about him if we hadn't drafted him this year. This season without him would not have been any fun at all. So let's get to our second big thing, which is return of the Mac. Now, Mac obviously threw a crucial interception at the end of the game against the Jets, but overall probably his best game so far in the Jaguars uniform, John. And if nothing else, Mac is entertaining. Is this the Mac we're going to get the rest of the way, or do we still not know because of the inconsistency?
Well, I hope so. He's played, he's had moments. He was certainly better on Sunday than he has been. I think you're going to get it in the sense that he's going to throw a pick that breaks your heart. That seems like it's happened every game. But the other day, he mixed in a lot of energy. He mixed in being able to go downfield to Brian Thomas Jr., really getting him the ball. He distributed, and yeah, it was fun to watch him. I think teammates got behind him. So I would say, yeah, there's 3 games left. I would say you'd see good Mac and bad Mac in 2 of them. In one of them, you'll probably see bad Mac that breaks your heart, and I hope not, because I like the kid.
We are seeing more of the good Mac, right? I mean, week to week, there's more good than bad with Mac, and so that bodes well with 3 games left that perhaps we'll see some really good Mac before this is all said and done with. You'd rather be the Jaguars with Mac Jones than the Raiders with Desmond Ridder. I mean, you got a guy that can go out and operate. And John, when I watch him, I just think you hear quarterbacks described as guys who can make all the throws. Well, he doesn't look like he can make all the throws. He doesn't have that deep ball accuracy to be able to really take advantage of someone like Brian Thomas Jr. So the trick for Press Taylor, for Doug this week is to figure out a way to tailor the game plan to do what he does and still find a way to throw the ball deep when you can.
Coming up, our final big thing is going to be familiar faces, because when they take on the Raiders this weekend, there are a couple of familiar faces on the defensive side of the football. Former defensive coordinator here, Mike Caldwell, now the linebackers coach for the Raiders, and also K'Lavon Chaisson, who Brian already has 3 sacks and 1 interception this year for the Raiders.
One of the all-time worst first-round picks in Jaguars history, and there have been a lot of them. But this is the guy that the Jaguars took instead of taking Justin Jefferson. And I still think, how in the world in the 2020 draft room can you say, look, in 2021 we're taking a quarterback no matter what? So how are we doing this? I mean, how are we taking this pass rusher who had 6 sacks in 1 year? I'm sorry, I'm going way back in the past, but Yeah, I'll always remember Caleb Chase as not being Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, they were filling needs in that draft, and when you reach for needs, you hurt yourself. Yeah. So, look, there's nothing wrong with Caleb. I'm not going to sit here on the show and slam him. He was not what they hoped for in 4 years here, and good for him if he's having some success, and good for Mike Caldwell too. It's in the past.
All right, we'll talk some more about the Raiders later this week, but coming up after the break, we're going to talk about what's going on around the NFL.
Navigating the current housing market and figuring out your best move when it comes to a mortgage isn't your full-time job, but it's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's where the experts at Jet Home Loans get into the game and coach you to your ultimate goal of getting not just the right loan, but the perfect loan for you, the home of your dreams. Jet Home Loans works with you all the way, from application to closing, making sure your game plan is perfect. Make the call to Jet Home Loans and let their team join your team to make your dreams take flight. Visit jethl.com.
Ranked as the nation's best public university by the Wall Street Journal, the University of Florida is on a mission to transform education. UF continues to help grow the economy through research breakthroughs and leadership in AI. And with its nationally recognized career services, UF students and graduates have never been better prepared to make a difference in the world. To learn more about how the University of Florida fuels bold ideas that make an impact around the globe, visit fromflorida.ufl.edu.
Are you ready for a taste bud touchdown? Well, Jags fans, if you're at the bank and craving a snack that's shell-shockingly good, look no further than Luray Peanut Company's boiled peanuts. Picture this, you in the stands, cheering on your Jaguars, and in one hand, a bag of piping hot boiled peanuts. With original or Cajun to choose from, they're so delicious, you'll wonder where they've been all your life. So grab them while they're hot and get back to the game. And as always, Duval. Luray boiled peanuts, where every nut is a winner.
How close can you get with Verizon Access? Front row close. Red carpet close.
Oh my God!
Backstage passes close. Playing quarterback for your favorite NFL team close. Okay, not that close. But watching from the sidelines close? You bet. Get into the experiences you love, like concerts, games, and exclusive pre-sales. Just for being a Verizon customer. Verizon Access, you're in. Woo! Learn more at verizon.com/access.
Are you ready for some football? Well, you are now, thanks to Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL, Ticketmaster's got the best way to take it to the house when it comes to being there live. They're the safest and most convenient marketplace to score fully verified Jaguars tickets. And even if your plans get broken up or worse, turned over, Ticketmaster gives you more flexibility to sell your seats. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
You say there's nothing quite like the feel of the open road when you ride a motorcycle. You know it takes concentration, knowledge, and skills beyond those required to drive a car. Ride Smart Florida would like to take this opportunity to remind you to enjoy the road, but to always ride smart. S-M-A-R-T. Say no to drinking and riding. Make yourself more visible to motorists. Always wear your helmet. Ride in control. Train regularly and get endorsed. Visit ridesmartflorida.com for more details. Do you ride smart? This message is provided by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Welcome back to Jags A.M., brought to you by Fields Auto, Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. Head over to fieldsauto.com to check them out today. Welcome back into Jags A.M. It's week 16 at this point. We're getting ready to head to Las Vegas a little bit later in the week, but we're going to talk about what's been going on around the NFL as well, so we keep you up to date on everything. We're going to play the Titans again in 2 weeks, but who will be the quarterback will be interesting, as they benched Will Levis against the Bengals this week after 3 interceptions, including a pick 6, and it got ugly really quick. We saw some ugly play from Levis when we played them earlier this month, but it doesn't look good for him there.
No, I would think that Mason Rudolph would be the guy that they would go with. It gives them the best chance to execute on offense, and we've been talking about that here all year, is making sure that some of the young guys, whether it's an offensive lineman or a skill position player, they have the best chance to engage the offense and execute the offense. And Mason Rudolph is a competent backup. And at some point, Brian Callahan just has to say, enough, I've seen enough. I need to see my offense work.
Well, and I think he probably cares less about seeing the offense work in the short term than the franchise knowing who the quarterback is going to be in the long term. Before the Titans-Jaguars game, 10 days ago, the storyline up there was that Levis had done some good things, and there was a chance that he could be the guy moving forward. The reason this is such an important story for the Jaguars is now you sort of know he's not going to be the guy up there. So you're going to have a team in Tennessee that gets into that quarterback building, find our guy mode again, and that'll be their storyline until they find a guy.
Interesting. I thought it was going to be the Colts maybe, but Anthony Richardson has been playing a bit more too, so I guess we'll see.
Well, Anthony Richardson, listen, I mean, when you look at him as a passer, you still think, what's he doing? And then you watch him run and make a couple of throws on the run and think, well, maybe they can refine that, but they're going to have to be really patient until he comes way around.
Yeah, it's awfully hard when all you can do is run as a quarterback. They're great runners, Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson and guys like that, but they are much more polished and can win from the pocket at times. Anthony Richardson right now has a tough time ever winning from the pocket.
Well, listen, I mean, Lamar Jackson came into the league and he was a better passer than Anthony Richardson. He had done it more at Louisville, Heisman Trophy. But he wasn't as polished as he needed to be. And when you see him the last couple of years in particular, he's really lifted his game. So, I mean, I would have some hope for Anthony Richardson because I hear he's a good kid and works hard.
We will see. Yeah. We will see. Development game for sure. As far as the Raiders that we're going to be facing off against this week, they played on Monday Night Football, so it's a short week for them, taking on the Falcons in a barn burner of 12-9. So is that the offense we're going to see, I guess? Or I guess the Falcons have fallen off as well with Kirk Cousins not playing very well.
It's so hard to know what you're going to get from a team that's out of it he's a third quarterback they've had. So it would have been easy last week, right, for fans and observers to say, well, the Jaguars can't score against the Jets. We all sort of did. Well, they came out, found something, and they got 22 points. So you can never say with a team that's out of it just because this happened or this is going to happen. They're depleted. Both teams should strive to get out of the teens, and I would guess the team that scores 17 or more wins. But I thought that last week too.
Just to your point on the Falcons, they're 7-7, but you know they have Bijan Robinson, right? And they have big, tall, fast receivers. That's supposed that they went and gave Kirk Cousins all that money because they thought, here we go. I mean, this is our year to challenge, and they're still in it in the NFC with a couple games left to go. That's a perplexing team because there is a lot of ability up there, and they just haven't got enough from it.
A lot of parity around the league. Definitely interesting to watch it all go down. Stay with us. We're going to do a little this or that after the break.
Navigating the current housing market and figuring out your best move when it comes to a mortgage isn't your full-time job, but it's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's where the experts at Jet Home Loans get into the game and coach you to your ultimate goal of getting not just the right loan, but the perfect loan for you, the home of your dreams. Jet Home Loans works with you all the way, from application to closing, making sure your game plan is perfect. Make the call to Jet Home Loans and let their team join your team to make your dreams take flight. Visit jethl.com.
When disaster strikes, trust the experts at Surf Pro. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they bring the same dedication and precision to restoring your property as the Jaguars do on the field. Whether it's water, fire, or storm damage, their highly trained professionals are on call 24/7 to make it like it never even happened. Surf Pro, your local leader in restoration and cleanup.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Calling all junior fire chiefs. Parents, register for your child to win the ultimate Jaguars game day experience. Sponsored by Firehouse Subs, cheering on the Jags from the Firehouse Subs fire truck at Everbank Stadium, flashing the fire truck lights when the Jags score. As honorary junior fire chief of the game, your child will receive a Firehouse Subs gift, and the whole family will receive 4 tickets and a parking pass to a home game this season. Visit Jaguars.com/sweepstakes to enter to win today. See website for terms and conditions.
Are you ready for a taste bud touchdown? Well, Jags fans, if you're at the bank and craving a snack that's shell-shockingly good, look no further than Luray Peanut Company's boiled peanuts. Picture this, you in the stands, cheering on your Jaguars, and in one hand, a bag of piping hot boiled peanuts. With original or Cajun to choose from, they're so delicious, you'll wonder where they've been all your life. So grab them while they're hot and get back to the game. And as always, Duval! Luray boiled peanuts, where every nut is a winner.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with EverBank. Open an EverBank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. EverBank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
For 11 years, Dreamfinders Homes have been proud to call themselves the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for all of the available inventory, and go Jags.
This or that. This or that.
Welcome back to Jags A.M. We're going to do a little this or that as we look at this team going forward. The last 3 games of the season, we've talked a ton about these younger players kind of going up, basically seeing what is available for them. I think we've noticed, at least specifically on defense, there's going to be some holes to be filled in the offseason and some positions that are open. Is there a position group that you think specifically is one that is a need at this point, or that you want to see younger players step up, or who are you kind of looking at?
Well, I'll stick with the defensive line because I've been on that, and not the exterior guys. Obviously, you know what you have with Josh and with Trayvon. You've got to be able to stop the run. And this team, there was a section of the season where they just couldn't do anything at the line of scrimmage on defense. You draft Mason Smith and Jordan Jefferson. I need to see those guys. And we haven't seen them on the field together. We haven't even seen them active on the same game day. When Jefferson was active and doing things in London and just after London, Mason Smith wasn't. Mason Smith's been active the last couple of weeks. That was a 2nd and a 4th round pick. Those 2 guys have got to come through in a big way, or you've got to go at the top of the draft next year and be looking for defensive tackles, because you're just not big enough and strong enough inside on the defensive line.
Yeah, I kind of think it doesn't matter what these guys do at the end. I think you need to get stouter, bigger on the defensive line. And I'm not sure that, we need to stop playing depth chart football, I call it in the offseason, with the defensive line, and just get as many guys as you can, because you need 6 or 7 really good players up there to do it, and I don't think they have it. I'll go defensive back for the point of the question. You really wonder what safety's going to look like next year. Yeah. I don't think Cisco is going to be back. Dewey, who I like very much as a player, hasn't really gotten on the field very much, and Antonio Johnson struggled. So I think you keep playing those guys. You get Antonio into the lineup. You get DeAndre Prince into the lineup. But they need some bodies and some young bodies without regard to depth chart, defensive back and defensive line, because there's just not enough there.
No, and
there.
I don't want to see him play in free agency
at all.
At all. You'd like to just shut it down and not go there at all. They will go into it. It's what the Jaguars have done historically. Safety is a place where you might be able to go find a couple of guys who can come in and help you. But I'm with you. You have to overhaul the position. And scheme might have something to do with it.
Yeah.
The defense of scheme doesn't work. I don't know whether you ask Ryan Nielsen to change it or you change that. I don't know what you do there. But maybe that has something to do with how these guys can play better.
Yeah, and here's what we're talking about with free agency. Look, I like Darnell Savage. He's been good. But you pay a veteran guy to come in and be what you would hope that you could get a second-year guy to be. And I think Darnell's going to have a good, long career, but I don't know that paying that to bring it in is better than having second-year guy to bring it in. And they've got to start having second- and third-year guys playing these roles that they're bringing these veterans into play.
Well, let me qualify it then. I don't want them to play in heavy, in big-name free agency, but go find a couple of guys who you can bring in here to
compete,
up the level of competition. That second tier, that third tier of guys, big bodies who can run and that you can coach them and figure out whether they can play or not. Because other than Antonio Johnson, you don't look like you've got anybody. I mean, Savage, but we know that the big dollar free agent doesn't work.
Not long term.
Don't think so.
Not short term much either, but we'll make it happen. For my second this or that today, I'm looking a little bit, we talked about both of these guys already, but Mac Jones, Desmond Ridder, these are backup quarterbacks in this matchup we're going to see on Sunday. Which of them has a better opportunity at this point? Who do you think is making a better case for themselves? Obviously, Desmond Ridder hasn't had as many games as Mac thus far, but towards the end of the season, who's going to have a better chance? Who's going to take advantage of the opportunity?
Well, I think realistically, both. I'm trying to dodge the question. I think both of them are going to be backups next year.
Yeah, they're the same guy.
And they haven't really shown that magic or pizzazz. I don't know that GMs are going to be saying, boy, we've got to have that at a starting level salary, as opposed to, let's go draft. Are you going to bring Mac Jones in next year if you're a team in the AFC West, for example, to say, okay, we're going to start him? I don't think so. I think they're both going to be good backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't think Mac has earned the free agent contract. I don't think anyone would argue that he hasn't earned the free agent contract. I'd like to see Mac back here as a backup, right? I mean, a guy who can play in his hometown for a number of years. Listen, how much did Chase Daniel make? The former Saint, and I mean, he was around the league with a couple of different teams, the Eagles for a while. He made like $47 million in 14 years of being a backup quarterback. It is a lucrative way to make a living. So maybe that would work. I think both of these guys are the same guy. It's hard to say who has a greater opportunity. I'll go with Mac because he's got Brian Thomas Jr. on the field.
That certainly doesn't hurt. And we'll get to see it live and in person on Sunday, so we'll be able to judge a little bit better after that, I imagine. Stay with us. We'll tell you what's going on the rest of the week for the Jaguars.
We need to define a great deal in today's new home market because the so-called great deals that you find on every corner just aren't the same as the incredible opportunities you'll find with a new Dreamfinders home. How about 2.99% in year one in one of Dreamfinders' 15 communities across North Florida? Now that's a great deal. 2.99% interest rate in year one and a beautiful new Dreamfinders home. Visit dfhsalesevent.com for our largest savings of the year on move-in ready homes. That's dfhsalesevent.com.
You say there's nothing quite like the feel of the open road when you ride a motorcycle. You know it takes concentration, knowledge, and skills beyond those required to drive a car. Ride Smart Florida would like to take this opportunity to remind you to enjoy the road, but to always ride smart. S-M-A-R-T. Say no to drinking and riding. Make yourself more visible to motorists. Always wear your helmet. Ride in control. Train regularly and get endorsed. Visit RideSmartFlorida.com for more details. Do you ride smart? This message is provided by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Ranked as the nation's best public university by the Wall Street Journal, the University of Florida is on a mission to transform education. UF continues to help grow the economy through research breakthroughs and leadership in AI. And with its nationally recognized career services, UF students and graduates have never been better prepared to make a difference in the world. To learn more about how the University of Florida fuels bold ideas that make an impact around the globe, visit fromflorida.ufl.edu.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings. A high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense, a rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
When disaster strikes, trust the experts at Surf Pro. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they bring the same dedication and precision to restoring your property as the Jaguars do on the field. Whether it's water, fire, or storm damage, their highly trained professionals are on call 24/7 to make it like it never even happened. Surf Pro, your local leader in restoration and cleanup.
How close can you get with Verizon Access? Front row close. Red carpet close.
Oh my God!
Backstage passes close. Playing quarterback for your favorite NFL team close. Okay, not that close. But watching from the sidelines close? You bet. Get into the experiences you love, like concerts, games, and exclusive pre-sales just for being a Verizon customer. Verizon Access, you're in. Woo! Learn more at verizon.com/access.
Jags fans, if you want customized Jaguars furniture for your home, check out zipchair.com to browse all the customizable options. Zipchair is furniture for fans.
Hey, big stand right here, y'all. Big stand, we good. Grown man ball right here, y'all.
Rodgers on the move, can he get away? No, it's a sack at the 26-yard line. Jeremiah Ledbetter.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Give me some. Hey!
Hit a backflip.
Who?
Led
hit a backflip?
You ain't see it?
Oh, where?
I think when y'all dapped up, you walked away. That's the backflip.
Nah, you lie like hell, man.
No, he did. You ain't see it. You ain't hear it.
You hit a backflip, huh?
Damn. And he cleaned that
big backflip. How I missed that.
That's Trayvon Walker mic'd up, missed the backflip. I don't know how, because he was 2 feet away from it, but apparently didn't see it. And thought Josh Heinsohn was lying to him, because Josh does that a lot. So.
Super impressive, but was I the only person who was thinking about when Buccaneers kicker Martin Gramatica did the same thing and tore his ACL? Remember that a couple years ago on Monday Night Football?
Couple, it was about 23, 24
was it that
years
long ago?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem that long ago.
It was a hike. For guys like you and me, it's not long ago. I thought it was really cool. I thought that was really funny, and probably would want to do it every play.
No.
I was a little scared he wasn't going to make the full rotation, but no one got hurt.
Awesome athlete.
That was good. 300-pound backflip is impressive. Coming up this week, obviously we're getting ready to head to the West Coast. Our first West Coast game, I think, this season? Last season.
Yes.
I don't think we went last season either.
Anytime you can avoid going to the West Coast, it's a good deal.
Probably for the best.
Yeah.
It is a bit of trek. Of course, we have the London trip in there, so there's always that. What are you guys looking at this week? Who are you talking to?
I'm going to talk to Richard Angulo, the tight ends coach, about Brenton Strange. We spend so much time on Brian Thomas Jr., and rightfully so. I mean, he's the story of the season. But quietly, Brenton Strange has carved a role out for himself, bigger than I think a lot of people thought possible in year 2, especially after year 1 was kind of limited. I think he's got big-time potential, and I'm excited to talk to Richard Angulo about him.
Yeah, he's turned into a nice player. I'm hoping to get Mac Jones. Sometimes the quarterback can be busy during the week.
Mac Jones.
So I think it'd be fun. We can talk about Southside Private School Jacksonville.
Listen, it will be more than fun. I mean, you'll just have to sit back and let him do all the talking.
He's a good time. He'll tell you all his favorite restaurant choices, I'm sure. I am going to be talking to the back flipper himself,
awesome.
I believe, and I will find out where all that came from, if he's a gymnast or what in the offseason. But we'll be back again tomorrow on Jags A.M. We'll talk to you more about that Raiders matchup coming up this weekend.